Hello and welcome to Homeboys Extra. I'm your host for tonight. I'm Jason and I'm absolutely delighted to be joined on the line by two of my great friends to discuss one of my great passions in life, the modern day miracle that is Athletic Club of Bilbao. And over in the Basque Country, I'm very delighted to have my great friend Joseba. So Joseba, are you there, mate?
Yes, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah, a scary casco for calling in.
The pleasure is for mine. It's a pleasure to speak with Celtic supporters.
Thank you, mate. And from the city of Liverpool, a great friend of mine, he's known in the wider circles as Chilly John, and it's my good friend John Sheeran. Are you there, mate?
Hello, Jason. Yeah.
Happy days, mate. Happy days.
Yeah, still smiling from Sunday.
Yep, and for anyone that doesn't know, on Sunday I was down at Liverpool, my second home. Well, it's Liverpool and Bilbao, the two of them vie for being my second home. But I met John before the game, and we had a blether, and then we went into Goodison to see Everton tonk Arsenal 3-0. So that was very enjoyable. So, to the show tonight. It was I don't know, maybe about a year and a half ago, we had the idea to do an Athletic Bilbao podcast, and we had Joseba on the line, and John called in too, and my good friend Liam, and we just basically discussed the history of Athletic Club, and great news round about the Celtic community, and everybody loved it, and a lot of people even on the back of that actually visited Bilbao, and Joseba sorted them out with tickets. And quite a few Celtic fans actually made the journey over. I know one lad actually went to the Real Madrid game in the Bernabeu, and Joseba got him tickets for the Athletic section. So it created a wee bit of a buzz among the Celtic supporters. So quite a few people have been asking me, when are you going to do another one? So, well, here it is. So, and what a better time to do it than when Athletic are flying high, 4th in La Liga, and 6 points clear of their nearest rival, Sevilla, on to get the coveted Champions League spot. So, Joseba, since we were last on, we done our last show, and the manager was Marcelo Bielsa, and Athletic Club were playing in the old lady that was called San Mamés. So a lot of big changes now, and you're at a new stadium called San Mamés Barria. Yeah. So would you like to tell the listeners what it's like now going to the new stadium compared to the old lady that was San Mamés?
Yeah. Okay. First of all, it's 1.5 years that I spoke with you and Celtic supporter, and my English is not very good also, so I haven't improved.
Your English is better than mine.
Thank you, but yes, it was amazing to have Celtic supporters also here, like with Real Madrid, as you told us. And answering your question, the first problem that we have in our stadium, the old stadium, was the supporter, because there were only a space for 41,000 people there. And there are many and thousand people from Bilbao who wanted to get tickets and members also for all the seasons. So in the new stadium, we will be 47,000 people. So that's the first problem that we get in the old stadium. And we are building the new one. We are still building. We are playing the new one, but one part of the stadium is not already done. The south part is not done already. So it will be finishing for the summer. Hopefully, it will be finished for September for Champions League. And we have a dream, is to play in Champions League with Celtic in San Mamés next season. So it will be fantastic to finish the new stadium of September and to play, in September or in October with Celtic. That's our dream.
That would be fantastic. We would have 3 qualifying rounds before we would get to your good self. But fingers crossed, you never know. And John's team, Everton, might be making a guest appearance as well. So it's things are looking good. So tell me.
And the other question, Jason. Sorry about Bielsa. Bielsa for us it was very important. We were really proud with Bielsa. We were really happy. But he's very intensive. So at last we changed for Ernesto Valverde. And most of the supporters wanted to continue Bielsa. But at last Ernesto Valverde is also from Bilbao. He played in Athletic de Bilbao also for many years. So he understands perfectly what we need and what we mean. So it is not a very big difference with the managers, because at last we are very happy with Bielsa and we are very happy with Ernesto Valverde also.
Okay, so because he's a local guy, and I know he played from nine.
Sorry to finish, but Bielsa is always welcoming here in Bilbao. He's incredible here.
Yeah, because of the success he brought the team, although we didn't win anything, beating Manchester United in Old Trafford and getting to Bucharest to the UEFA Cup final and the final of La Copa.
It was incredible, absolutely incredible. And not only to play the final, it's how to play, how we played with Bielsa. I am watching Athletic for all my life, and I have never seen playing so good, Athletic de Bilbao. So wow, he make better the players. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
he get the best of the player.
yeah. So John, talking about Marcelo Bielsa, Chile's a place that's close to your heart, and obviously Bielsa's got many connections in Chile. And so, what's the word in the street is? Have you heard any interviews from Bielsa since he left Athletic Club or anything?
Well, Bielsa doesn't give interviews. Basically, his interviews are press conferences. So he doesn't give an exclusive to anybody. When he speaks, he wants everybody to have the same chance. So I think basically he's just gone to ground. He's not managing anyone. He's off the radar until he appears next to God knows where. But just going back to what Jose was saying, I watched Athletic when Bielsa took over. The first games, they were only pre-season. They were shocking. They were really bad until it clicked, and it really went well for a while. But I also saw the last games of Bielsa. Do you remember, Joseba, you played Granada in San Mamés and then Sevilla on a Monday night?
Yeah, I remember.
So basically, I went to the Granada game and then I drove from Bilbao down to Sevilla to watch. And they were terrible. You know, I know we had Llorente on his way out, and Javi Martinez was on his way out. So, but it's as if they'd run out of steam. But watching Athletic
difficult. But it was so difficult to
maintain.
Because all the supporters from Athletic couldn't understand what's happening with Llorente and Javi Martinez. And it was very bad ambience with them. So it was very difficult for Bielsa. Very difficult.
Yeah, but just going on, continuing with Bielsa though, his legacy is everywhere. I mean, I watch Everton, and I know that for a fact that Roberto Martinez studied the Chilean side when Bielsa was manager of Chile, and we play. You know, we're not perfect, but by no means. But we play at a high intense game that Bielsa advocated.
Yeah,
which is keep the ball, move the ball. If you haven't got the ball, get it back, press, and it's fantastic. And Pep Guardiola, who's one of the best managers around. His mentor was Bielsa. So Bielsa's legacy is across. You know, everybody's playing Pochettino in Southampton, who I think are a fantastic team, who will really do well next year. They play this Bielsa way. His legacy is tremendous, and it's right across Europe. You know, and the teams who entertain are the teams who play this. You know, well, you've got the ball, the other team can't score, but don't bore the backsides off us like Barcelona do. Although obviously Barcelona are a bit more than a boring team, but I didn't like the ticky-tacky of Barcelona too much. I like the ticky-toffee that we've got with Martinez. Yeah. But I think we've all got a big thanks to Bielsa for bringing this forward. I think he is the godfather of this style of football, it's just fantastic.
No, absolutely.
And also the position for the players. I remember when Javi Martinez started playing in midfield, and Marcelo Bielsa put in defense. Everybody says, "Oh, he's crazy! He's amazing! Why?" And now he's playing also like a defense in Bayern Munich sometimes. So he discovered also new position for the players. When everybody thinks that it was wrong, he was telling us that no, think about that. He knows too much about players and the position also in the stadium, in the champ.
Yeah, because he changed Javi Martinez, didn't he? Because we're going to Javi Martinez in a minute, but he made him like a defensive midfielder.
Yeah.
When Javi Martinez was more of a forward player before Bielsa arrived in the club, is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So, no, I agree with you, John, and I think, Roberto Martinez went to a World Cup just solely to concentrate on the Chilean national team, just because of Marcelo Bielsa. No, absolutely. You know.
Yeah, it was South Africa, yeah.
Yep. So Joseba, so obviously with the managerial transformation, with Valverde being steeped in athletic traditions, there's not been a big impact to the support, and obviously with the success this season has brought, again that makes it easier. So tell me, what is your match day experience like now when you're not going to the old San Mamés and you're getting into the new stadium? How does it feel? Does it feel different when you're watching Athletic Club?
Yeah, as I told you at first, the question is that we are building now the stadium. The stadium is not finished.
Yep.
So you cannot get all the ambience. We finished from September, so it will finish it and it will be better. When you go to the new stadium, it's amazing. It's fantastic. It's absolutely great. But of course, we need another part of the stadium. So
yeah,
that's we are building. So that's a little bit problem, nothing else.
Yeah.
So you need to be close all the stadium. You know what I mean? That's not the same because it's open. Half the stadium is open.
Yeah.
But we wanted to stay the stadium in the city center. For us, it's very important to be the stadium in the city center. So to build a new one, yes, it's more difficult. But okay, we are finishing in a couple of months, so it will be fine.
Okay, so everyone, obviously for anyone that doesn't know, the new stadium was built just basically on the site beside the old San Mamés, and for the reason for it not being completed, that they couldn't knock down part of San Mamés before the other end was built, because the stadium, you had to play in the stadium up until the end of last season. So for the Athletic supporters, they can still drink in the same bars along La Posas. Yeah. So everyone still has the same experience because you're going to effectively the same place. It's just moved over a little bit. So you can still eat food and drink in your choco before heading over to the stadium.
Yes, of course. Waiting for you, Jason.
I know. I'm going to try and get to the Bastarde.
Also.
Yeah.
Yes, the spirit is the same because, it's the same place. So it's the same spirit in the old one and in the new one. It's the same people, the same supporters, and the same spirit. So the spirit is there.
Okay, perfect. John, are you still there? I think John's dropped off the call. Give me a wee second. I'll try and add John back on. John Sheeran. There we go. Don't know, he dropped off there. So...
And we have also, in this season, we have many problems with tickets also. Because nowadays there are only 35... places in the new stadium, so there is no ticket for sale. There is no ticket for the other teams that are coming to Bilbao playing. So that's a problem also with the tickets this season.
Yeah, because it's really hard. So yeah, because obviously
there are only 36,000 seats, so. We have always problems, but okay.
Every game
if you want a new stadium.
Yeah, I know. So that's it. So John, can you hear us now again?
Yeah, I can hear you. That's great.
Just to let you know, Bayern Munich are 2-1 up against United.
Oh, thank you.
I thought that would make you feel happy there. Right, yeah. So we've just covered where the stadium was before you dropped off and how it's in the same position so the guys can still enjoy there. Because I think John obviously going to Goodison Park, I think San Mamés is very similar in a certain way that the amount of bars that are round about the stadium and the social aspect of going to an Athletic game, it's very similar to Everton games because there's 20 pubs within stone's throw from Goodison Park. So for Athletic to move from the spiritual home would be unthinkable. Going to one of these places outside the city of Bilbao, it would be terrible. And I think... Because going to an Athletic game, I'll bring you in here, John, it's a very much a social occasion, when you're walking up Posas and the bars are absolutely bunged to the max.
Yeah, you don't get this everywhere. I watch football in South America. I go every couple of years to watch Everton over in Chile. And the tradition there is you go to the game 10 minutes before kickoff. You sit down and you do your singing and whatever, and then you go home. And I find it just so alien. Whereas the Bilbaínos are just like the rest of us. They go, they have a good drink before, they watch the game, they have a good drink afterwards. And it's the whole social thing. And if the 90 minutes is good, great. But if it's not the be-all and end-all of the day, there's a lot more to the match. It is an event, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I always said... Go to watch Everton in Europe. I mean, we go, the big gang of us go across. And invariably the whole trip, 3 or 4 days when we go, it's a fantastic trip. Only ruined by 90 minutes of football usually. And
I know the feeling.
Yeah, but the thing is that the Bilbao fans. I've said this before, and I said it on the last time I was on. For me, they are the best fans in the world, bar none. I'm an Evertonian, and I love Evertonians, but we've got some not nice people who follow us. I have never met a bad Bilbao fan, and I've watched hundreds of games. I was there for 3 years, home and away. And I go back, and this is 30 years, more than 30 years I've been watching Athletic. They like to drink. And when they've had their drink, they don't get mardy, they don't get violent, they just get pleasanter and pleasanter. And you should be so proud of your fellow drunks, because they're the best.
No, I would agree. And the thing that brought it home to me was the first time I ever met you, Joseba, was in Valencia for the La Copa final.
Yeah.
And in the big fan zone, John, there was about 50 or 60,000 Athletic fans with a smattering of Barcelona fans. It was like, and there was one guy walked along with a Real Madrid shirt on. And I thought, there could be a bit of trouble here. But the Athletic fans went and grabbed the guy with the Real Madrid shirt on and brung him down and offered him a drink and made him stand and drink with them, and it was like, that was his form of punishment. And it was, and at the end of the night, I know when you go and watch Celtic, if anything happens, people put the blame on alcohol, similar with Everton and things like that. But to be fair, Everton and Celtic fans are pretty decent, but you always get, I don't know, whatever happens, but the Athletic fans, like, at the end of the night, when we were in Valencia, they started getting about and picking up all the empty bottles. And they started cleaning up after themselves. And I was like, that is just amazing. You were looking, you were just saying, these guys put us to shame.
Yeah.
And you've got a great pride.
Us, as you know, the football, of course, is a football match, but for us, it's a social also activity and a spirit, and we like, our life is impossible to understand without Athletic. When we travel, when we drink, we go to Pozas Street before the match, and after the match also is very popular, Pozas Street, because there are more than 50 bars there and pubs to drink some beers there, and no problems. We like to travel with the team also, with a Basque flag also. We only play with Basque players also, so that's an spirit.
Yeah, when the team runs out, each one of the players are fans of the club also. So that's a very special thing, and that's why I've called the show The Miracle. Because in modern football, Athletic Club are a miracle. How Athletic Club can survive in the top division for all of their history, and with being the third most successful team in La Liga. It's pretty incredible in this current climate as well, where money is king with so many teams. So my next question, Joseba, to you would be, last season you had two big stars. And basically you lost both of them. Javi Martinez went to Bayern Munich, and they're now 3-1 up, John, against Man United, so we can rest easily. So Javi Martinez left to go to Bayern Munich, and Fernando Llorente left to go to Juventus.
Yeah.
So I've spoke to you in private about this, but would you like to tell the listeners, how did you feel about these two guys leaving Athletic Club? Tell us your feelings when you had two kind of world superstars that just left your club.
We get problems, as I told you, with Bielsa, because Llorente arrived here to Bilbao with 9 years old. So he was playing with Athletic de Bilbao for more than 15 years. So we couldn't understand what happened, why he didn't want to continue with us. We really feel like he was a traitor for us. We can understand why, because it's different with Javi Martinez, because at last we paid 6 million euros for Javi Martinez, and then Bayern Munich paid 40, so at last it's only a money problem. So we think that Javi Martinez didn't feel really what does it mean here in Bilbao. But with Llorente, it was impossible for us to understand, because usually has never happened with a player who is here in Bilbao during 15 or 20 years, why he's going out. For example, I remember Joseba Echevarria, Julen Guerrero, they get really good possibilities to go to Real Madrid, to go to Manchester, to go to Juventus. I remember Julen Guerrero could choose any team in Europe, and he wanted to stay in Bilbao. And there are many examples like that. Why Llorente didn't want to continue here? So, and the answer for us was impossible to know. So, I prefer Juventus not to play in Bilbao because it will be a really nice day. We're waiting for that day.
So
at last, sorry, Jason. So at last, the only reason is that Llorente didn't want it, understand what is to be an athletic player, an athletic fan. So you are being here for a lot of years, and you cannot feel what happens with people here because, of course, we pay also very good. So that's not only a money problem.
Yeah.
So that's very difficult to understand for us.
Yeah, I know. So, John, do you want to come in there?
Yeah. You've got Toquero, who is, although he wears a number 2, is your standing centre forward, and I've picked up from the Athletic fans even before Llorente went. The Athletic fans love Toquero, and they weren't that in love with Llorente, especially the last year when the rumours were going about. Toquero doesn't score goals. Toquero is basically a journeyman. He's a very average player who runs around and leaves his skin on the pitch, but he's not very good.
Headless chicken.
The Athletic fans really, really do. They love him basically. Toquero Lendakari. And I think that says it all. And I think we get that at Goodison when we've got a player who's not that good. As long as he's one of ours and he runs himself ragged, that'll do. Yeah, you don't need to be the best. You just need to do your best. And we had players like Mick Lyons in the 70s. He was my hero. What a fantastic trier, but he wasn't very good. Yeah. So with Llorente, he's gone. What I wanted to know, though, you've got of the 3 great players you had I know there are good players, but the 3 great players were Javi Martinez, Llorente, and Muniain. Muniain's still there. Is he going to stay?
Yeah, we think that he will stay here in Bilbao. So he's finishing in 1 year the contract, but hopefully he will see other time with Athletic. Nowadays, for us, Iker Muniain is the best one in Athletic. Not the best one, but the more charismatic player. Yeah. Is Iker Muniain. He's playing quite well also, and everybody love him. So he will still be here in Bilbao.
And he's still a kid. He's what? He must be 20 now.
Yeah. He's 21. Yes.
21.
Yeah. And Anders Herrera as well. You know, another kid, and they're just getting better and better. And their prime is still years off.
I know, absolutely.
Yes.
One thing I've looked at, you say
that Ander Herrera gets an offer from Manchester United in summer.
Yeah, 25 million.
Yeah, but he gets an offer from Manchester United every year.
Yeah, but as you know, here in Bilbao, there is another thing that we don't negotiate for the players. So when Manchester United ask for Ander Herrera, Athletics president say, we don't negotiate. The price is 36 million euros. If you pay, okay, take that, but we will never sell it. Never.
Well, you might be looking...
When Heinkes called our president also saying, okay, 40 million is too much, so maybe 30. We say, no. It's impossible. So if you want to get him, pay 40 million euros. We are not going to negotiate any euros here.
Yeah, because
be careful though. Sorry, Jason. With Manchester United though and Herrera, if they come this summer and you say 36 million, you'll probably get about 45 million because David Moyes has not been very astute in the transfer market the last year or so.
Yeah, he signed a microphone for about 30 million. So one thing I've looked at, I looked at the squad, Joseba. So out of the full squad, the full first team squad at present, there is only 3 players in the squad what Athletic have paid money for. And it's Benat Extraviera, he was from Real Betis for 8 million, and Mikel Rico from Granada, and Ander Herrera, obviously, from Zaragoza. So that is the only 3 players. So Athletic's full team cost maybe, 15 million euros, and every other team has came through your youth academy. And it was one point that John's made it a few times, and John, you take the point away, John, for the listeners, because there's this misconception that people think that you must be born in the Basque Country to play for Athletic, but obviously you can be born in the Basque Country, you can sign a contract if you didn't come through the youth academy, but the part that you want to make, John, is about the youth academy side.
Yeah, I watched...
damn, I've lost John. Can you hear me, Joseba?
Yes. For example, there is another important thing. As I told you, when a player from Athletic wants to go, like Javi Martinez, they should play 40 million. But when we wanted a player like Mikel Rico from Granada, we paid 3 million euros. And why? Because Mikel Rico spoke with the president of Granada saying, I want to go to Bilbao. So he put 2,000 euros to come to Bilbao also. So the problem is that the players want to come, the players who are from Basque Country, they wanted to come back to Bilbao. Yeah. So they make pressure to the president saying, please, I want to come back to Bilbao. So we offer 3 million, and Granada's president, so no, Mikel Rico is more than 3 million. But of course, the player, please, I want to come back to Bilbao. So he put money to come back to Bilbao. So for us, it's incredible also to know that some players paid a part of the contract to come back to Bilbao.
Yeah,
so we pay 3 million for Mikel Rico, 8 million for Beñat, and 11 for Ander Herrera. That's all.
Okay, but the other thing is that the club who are selling the player, they sometimes put the price up because of the fact that Athletic cannot go for any other players anywhere else.
Yeah. Also with like Betis, they put a high price because they know that we only can get the Basque players. But
yeah, but John's point was the youth academy. I'm trying to add John back into the call here, but it's not connecting. But John's point was the youth academy. If you do not come from the Basque Country, you can still play for Athletic Club, but as long as you come all the way through the youth academy, is that correct?
Yeah.
So as long as you've lived in the Basque Country and you've came through the Athletic youth, because there was a young African boy, he played for Athletic a couple of years ago, didn't he?
Yes, but they need to grow up in Bilbao. It's like Llorente, or if they come with 9 years old, they grow up in Bilbao for 10 or for 11 years or 12. So we think that he will get the spirit of Athletic de Bilbao if he is growing up here in Bilbao.
Yeah, perfect. So, John, can you hear us again?
I can. Sorry about that, guys.
No worries. I kept trying to add you. So, me and Joseba were discussing the point there, but you can make your point, John. It's about growing up in the Basque Country and come through the youth academy, the Cantera. And
the manager Valverde, he was born, as you know, Jason, he was born in Extremadura, in Cáceres, but he went to the Basque Country when he was an infant, so he could play for Athletic, because that's where he was made as a footballer.
Yeah.
And I saw there was a kid, who was the guy, Joseba? There was a black kid from Chad. I mean, Chad, the heart of Africa, and he was on Athletic's books, because that's where he was made. He he started kicking a ball in Euskadi, and therefore he could play for Athletic. So this thing, people, they make Athletic out to be a racist club because of this policy, and it's just not true.
His mother was from Bilbao also. It's like now we have a black player also, and his mother is from Bilbao. His father is from Africa. So
which player are you talking about there?
Now I am speaking about Williams.
Right. No. But
he's playing in Athletic de Bilbao in second division.
Yeah. No, but there was a guy who actually played in the first team last season. I've not seen him this season. I can't remember his name. But besides that, there was a kid who was born in Chad. Now he didn't have a Basque mother. His mother and father were from Chad as well, and he was on Athletics books. So it just reinforces the point. It's not a racist club. It's a Basque club.
Yes. Maybe you are speaking about Ramallo?
No. Ramallo was in the first team.
Yeah, he was playing in the first team with Athletic a couple years ago.
Yeah. No, but this was a kid who never made it into the first team, but he was in the squad, and he was born in Chad. I'll have to look this kid's name up, but it just reinforces the truth rather than the myth that you don't have to be Basque, you don't have to be born in the Basque country, you just have to be made footballistically.
Yeah, Athletic have to make you as a player. Yep, that's Barcelona knocked out the Champions League. Atletico Madrid beat them 1-0. Bad news. Especially being a Celtic fan, anybody bar Atletico Madrid. There you go. So anyway,
Ruben Ayala.
I hate them. Terrible memories of them. They knocked us at the semi-final, kicked us off the park.
I remember that, yeah.
I know. So tell me now, Joseba. So the big stars in your team. So we mentioned Munain. So Suzaeta, who's the main players? Gurpegi, the captain. So who would be if you were a child? Has every child got Munain's name on the back of their shirt? Or who are the players? Oscar de Marcos. Who's the big players who's the heroes for the kids nowadays?
Now the hero for us is Gurpegi.
Gurpegi
and Iker Muniain. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Gurpegi is 34 years old. He's playing in Athletic de Bilbao more than 20 years, and he has a spectacular spirit. He's okay. He started like a forward, then midfield, and now he's playing like a defense. You know what I mean? Yes. As you are making older, you go to the defense. But we are very proud with Gurpegi, and of course, Iker Muniain for us is a star. He's a special player. He's a very good player, very young. He started in Athletic de Bilbao in first division with 16 years old. So for us, Gurpegi and Iker Muniain are the best one. And in the midfield this season also, we are playing very good with Iturraspe.
Yeah, Iturraspe.
Iturraspe is playing so good this season. It's so good because he's playing with Mikel Rico, and Mikel Rico cover, so he can make the football in the midfield is Iturraspe nowadays.
Yep. Very good, mate. Very good. And as I say, it's just a conveyor belt of young kids that keep
sorry, Jason. As you know, Gurpegi, when we play out from Bilbao in the stadiums, they are always shouting and telling Gurpegi bad things in all the stadiums. So because of that, we love more and more.
Sorry, could you repeat that, please, Joseba? What do you mean?
Yeah, when we play out from Bilbao, when we go to Madrid, for example, they are always, I don't know how to say in English, it's insult us.
Everybody insults Gurpegi.
Yeah, that's what I mean, yeah.
Just because
he get a positive in anti-doping control. I'm speaking about 14 years old or something like that.
Okay.
But they remember calling him junkie and drug addict and drugs, and so usually in Madrid, when we play with Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid, most of the stadium are all the time insulting Gurpegi.
Okay.
And he will never get any problem in any place. He's only play and play, you know?
Yep. So while we're talking about being insulted and things like that, tell me, out of the clubs in La Liga, tell me who the teams are that you would dislike. We won't use the word hate, but tell us the teams that you would dislike and the ones that you would be okay with.
Of course, dislike is Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid. We don't like also Sevilla and Barcelona. Sometimes we get also problems, and we like teams like Rayo Vallecano in Madrid.
Yep.
We play very good also in Granada, and we love also to play with Real Sociedad because they are Basque. And when we play together, there is a fiesta day.
Yep.
Because you can go to the streets and there are thousands and thousands of people from San Sebastian and from Bilbao. We meet, we drink many beers together, and the best ambience is with Real Sociedad. It's our derby.
Okay. And Osasuna, do you okay with them too?
Out of the stadium, yes. Out of the stadium, yes, because we speak in they are Basque also for us, but in the stadium they don't like so much Athletic de Bilbao because as they are Basque, we get players from Osasuna. So, for example, Iker Muniain is from Pamplona. And when we playing versus Osasuna, they hate Iker Muniain.
I remember,
but there is no any problem in the stadium and no problem out of the stadium. So we are drinking and eating all the day with them, with the Osasuna supporters, and there is no problem. But in the stadium, yes, they are not very happy with us.
Okay, yeah, because I text you when we played at El Sadir earlier in the season, and Athletic had a victory, but everybody was booing Muniain.
Yeah.
And asked you the question, and you says, well, he is from Pamplona.
Yeah, and also we enjoy with Celta de Vigo from Galicia. We are very friendly with them also.
Okay, because Athletic fans would be inherently left wing, very very left wing support. So any of the teams in Spain that would have a slight right wing fascist element, then there would be big problems when they play Athletic Club. Yes.
Yes. We travel and we like to see Athletic out from Bilbao also.
Yeah. Because from the away supporters, obviously John can come in here because you lived in Bilbao and you travelled away from home. From Athletic will take away supporters to every game, but when you see Barcelona playing even in Valencia, that's only maybe 1.5 hours drive from Barcelona, they'll be lucky if they have 200 fans there. But if Athletic go to somewhere like Zaragoza or somewhere like Santander, that's maybe 2 hours drive, 1 hour drive, Athletic will take thousands of supporters there.
Yeah, and they put higher the tickets for us.
Yeah.
Because they know that we are go thousand, so they put higher the prices. So that's amazing also.
I remember a trip to Santander, I think it was about 82, 83, 84, and it was the old Sardinero, and Athletic took 8,000 fans. It was great. We went to the port, ate, drank, had a great day in the stadium, supporting the team, and I was just watching the police, and I watched the police systematically come in from every side, and they just beat the Athletic fans because they were Athletic fans, and the Santander fans were saying, and there's a Basque, and there's another one, and the police went through the whole crowd with the truncheons assaulting the Basques. Now, obviously, that doesn't happen anymore because Spain moved on, but it just shows you, Athletic don't like certain teams because there's a lot of history, and it's not just glib history that we might have in Scotland and England. We don't like that team because of this. There's a lot of political bad feeling going back a long time, which will never go away, I don't think. It'll take generations and generations. I didn't get beat up that day because being an Evertonian, I could never wear red. So I used to wear my Everton scarf whenever I watched Athletic. And I think I just confused the police when they came to give me one.
You can never. I know. I found that strange that you're a red man when you support Athletic, mate. And yep. So there you go. So you say about the away stadiums that you have travelled to. Which is the ones that you've had the most problems with?
The most problem is Atletico Madrid. Is in Madrid.
Atletico Madrid.
Yes. It's the only place where when I wear a Athletic de Bilbao shirt, I put a cuff or I put something on, because if they see that you are Athletic de Bilbao supporter, when the match is finished, you can get troubles just in the stadium or around the stadium. So Atletico Madrid is the worst.
That's the worst. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we saw that in Bucharest, didn't we, Joseba? We went to the final in Romania against Atletico, and everything was great. Everyone's enjoying themselves, except for one small incident when a group of skinheads from Atletico came along looking for trouble. Unfortunately, the police just stepped in and sorted it out. But there are some nasty people who follow that club.
Yeah, that's the problem usually, that they have in Atletico Madrid they have a skinhead supporter, and they are only getting troubles, so nothing else.
Yeah, and they would be very
they don't
fascist.
understand the football like us.
Yeah, yep. So there you go. So going on to this season, Joseba, could you have thought in your wildest dreams how much Valverde would have turned it around and would have made Athletic play this type of football? Could you foresee it at the start of the season, or was it a shock to you?
No. Of course, when we started, we were thinking that we are going to win La Liga. But when we start losing, okay, not really. For us, it's a very good season. We didn't think that we will be in the fourth place, and not only in the fourth place, playing so good. And okay, we won Barcelona in the new Samames. We draw with Real Madrid, and we didn't win because of referee. There are many years that we didn't win Barcelona Madrid, and so this season we get it. So it's a surprise for us to be the fourth one and playing so good. We are very happy.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Jason, we thought that maybe we can play European League to be 5, 6, 7, but the fourth one, and not only the fourth one, that the 5 is Sevilla, and we get 6 points. So and they need to play, or they will play in San Mamés. So that's a very big difference.
Yep. So as it stands at the minute, as La Liga stands at the minute, Athletic are sitting in 4th position. So Athletic are 6 points above Sevilla.
Yeah.
And the thing in Spain, which happens in La Liga, is goal difference. In the UK, goal difference counts. So when it gets towards the end of the season, if we have scored more goals than the other team, you would finish above them. But in La Liga, it goes on your head-to-head. So Athletic have already played in Sevilla, where it was a draw. The game was a draw.
Yeah.
So we have to play Sevilla. We've got a Malaga at home this week, and then it's Sevilla at home the following week. So if Athletic beat Sevilla at home, you've got to say that's virtually Champions League qualification guaranteed. What would you think?
Yeah, I think that there are 2 matches for us that will be definite. Is with Sevilla in a couple of weeks, and then Real Sociedad also at home.
Yeah,
because Real Sociedad is 6 also.
Yeah,
is in 6th position. So if we win the 2 matches, it will be done.
Yeah, And the away matches we have with Real Vallecano. We've got to go to Madrid to play Real Vallecano.
Yeah,
and, and we need to go to Barcelona.
Yeah, of course.
There is a story attached to the Barcelona game that me and my wife and kids had booked to go to Barcelona for Easter. We were still going for Easter, but you were getting us tickets for the athletics section in the Camp Nou, and the bloody Barcelona have changed the game. Nightmare.
Yeah, the problem is in La Liga that the television, they are changing all the weeks, the day of to play, and the hours and everything. So that's so difficult for us because the television can change a match 2 weeks before, 1 week before, 3 weeks before the match. So that's amazing here. I cannot understand why they do that, because it's so difficult for our supporters, because they change a day and they can change to Monday, for example. So that's impossible. And you can get the ticket, you can get everything, all the trip, and at last they change 1 week before. So that's the television, nothing else. So we can also understand what they change for the television. We can understand. And we are always playing on Monday because...
Yeah, why is that? I've noticed. Yes, I mean, you play in Malaga on Monday as well. Why?
Yes, because the television...
Levante last week.
Yes, because all the matches are pay-per-view, but they have only one who is open for everybody on television. They cannot put a team that is playing in Champions League. So they cannot put on Monday Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, or Barcelona. So what is the most supporters team in La Liga? Athletic de Bilbao. So they put Athletic de Bilbao because they wanted to be many people watching television, nothing else. In another weeks, they put Granada, they put Real Sociedad, they put Sevilla. But of course, everyone wants to watch Athletic de Bilbao. They are more supporters in La Liga from Athletic de Bilbao. So they always want to put on television on Monday Athletic de Bilbao.
The thing is, in Scotland we've been up with the same kind of scenario, Joseba, because traditionally in the UK your games would kick off at 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. And there was a time there before Rangers went into liquidation and died that see when we both were vying at the top of the Scottish Premier League, Celtic never had an away game on a Saturday at 3 in the afternoon for 7 years. Because every one of our away games, and Rangers, every one of their games were on television.
Yeah.
So every one of our games were on a Sunday morning or a Saturday morning. It was terrible. And just for the fans who go to the football, the guys who actually pay at the turnstile and buy your ticket, the TV companies and the leagues and the clubs don't really care. All they care about is money.
Yeah, but the question is that you cannot be changing all the time. And they started on Friday. Here, La Liga started on Friday, continued on Saturday in 4 different hours, then Sunday in another 4 different hours, and then on Monday. So how can you put 10 matches on 4 days and in a different 10 hours?
The thing is, see for myself and John, if we want to come over to an athletic game, you effectively have to come over on a Friday and you need to leave on a Tuesday to guarantee to get to the match.
Yeah.
You know, whilst I'm not... If
you want to watch a Champions League match, 2 months before which day they play, in which hour, and they cannot change in 2 weeks before the match.
But in La Liga, they changed 2 weeks before the match, and it's so unfair for the supporter.
Because the television is the owner of La Liga. That's the reason, nothing else. They pay, so we decide whatever we want in any time we want. So we don't care the supporters, or we only care the television, nothing else.
So tell me, do Athletic own their own TV rights? I know Barcelona and Real Madrid do. Do Athletic do that as well? Do you subscribe to like an Athletic TV channel?
Sorry?
So see, Barcelona and Real Madrid, they own their own TV rights. So when they're on the TV, they get all the money from it. It's not shared about the league. Is that the same with Athletic, or does Athletic's money get shared among the league?
No, we get the money also for the television, but like another things in Spain, they didn't pay also all the money. So we get travels also with different channels of television.
Right. Okay.
Because they contract, for example, 28 million euros, and they only pay 20.
Right, okay.
So we changed the television contract also, and also the new one hasn't paid all the money. So we get troubles all the years to get the money from television.
I see. So tell me, what about this
because the television wants to pay most of the money to Madrid and to Barcelona.
Yeah.
That's another problem, of course.
That's a big problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what about the recent court ruling about Barcelona, and they've now got a transfer ban? What does people in Bilbao think of this?
About what? Sorry, Jason?
Do you know how Barcelona now have a transfer embargo because of the way they've been signing players?
Yes. For me, that's stupid. That's not a reason, because all the teams do the same. That all the teams are getting players with 12 years old and bringing to their teams. So in Holland, in England, in Barcelona, all the teams get young players. So I don't know why Barcelona they get. I think that the problem is that when UEFA advised to Barcelona, they didn't think that it was a really big problem. So they say, we haven't any problem. That's no problem. So they are not going to do anything in UEFA. And at last, they have put a sanction for 1 year. But all the teams do the same for me. That's only a money problem. So the teams who has a lot of money, they do whatever they want all around the world.
Yeah, but I think obviously, John, you can come in here obviously supporting a team in the English Premiership, but I think the money that's floating about football nowadays is disgusting. And especially when you follow a club. And this is part of the reason why I think Athletic are a miracle, because your full team costs maybe 20 million euros, and Barcelona's team costs, 200 million euros. Real Madrid's team probably cost about 500 million euros. And you play in the same league as these guys. And when you compare the Everton, John, to how much Everton's team, the net spend is virtually zero compared to...
So does that make us a miracle as well then, Jason?
It kind of does. But
we're not in the same league as Athletic when it comes to youth development, because they've got the Cantera at Lezama. And they spend a lot of money on that. You know, Athletic is not a poor club. They have a big fan base. They invest heavily in players, but instead of spending it on transfers, which it's virtually impossible for them to find the players in other clubs because the prices just go up through the roof. They put all that money into the youth team, and Everton are doing a similar thing. We're getting players coming through now.
John Stones.
Probably more than most clubs.
Yep. Yeah, the nucleus of Everton is fantastic at the minute. Some of these young kids, Bartley and John Stones, I mean, the combined fee, they'd be 50 million easy.
Yeah, well, John Stones we pinched from Barnsley, but he was only 15 or 16 at the time. Right,
okay. But it's amazing. I mean, the amount of money Athletic must spend in Lezama, and they obviously get the reward for it, because I think the Basque Country population is something like, is it the Vizcaya region? Vizcaya has 3 million people, you said, or is it 1.5 million?
No. Vizcaya is only 1 million.
1 million.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Basque Country is nearly 2.5 million. It's nearly 3 million.
Okay, 3 million. So
yes.
Effectively, you only have a pool of 3 million people. But I would say 1.5 million of those are Athletic supporters.
Yeah, here there are no supporters from Madrid and from Barcelona or from Manchester.
So tell me now, like obviously we've covered a lot of the football. One thing I've not mentioned is Ayaduriz. You signed him from Valencia.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's another one I didn't pick out the squad that's been signed. So Ayaduriz played for Athletic years ago. He started his career there. And then he was a big player for Valencia. So you signed him back this year.
Yeah.
How do you think he's been doing? I think he's been fantastic.
He's fantastic. We are really proud with Aduriz also. When we sold to Mallorca, and then Valencia buy it to Mallorca, and then he's coming back also to Bilbao. As I told you before, Aduriz also told to Valencia president that he wanted to come back to Bilbao. The problem that we sell Aduriz for money years ago because we get some troubles with money, so the president decided to sell it. He didn't want to go. He was crying when he went to Mallorca because he wanted to play here, but Llorente was playing in Bilbao also, and the president said, think that Llorente was the first score, so we sell Aduriz and we get the money. But it was an error. So Aduriz should be here for all his life, but he's come back, so we are really very happy. He's 32 years old, so he's finishing the career, but he's very proud to be here in Bilbao. And he has a very big spirit when he's playing.
Yeah, and he's scored 6 goals out of the last 7 games, so let's hope he can fire Athletic to the Champions League spot. And that would be great for next season for Ayaduriz to play in the Champions League. That would be a dream come true.
Yes. He has scored the same goals like Llorente in Juventus. So, the same goals.
It's a very good.
The other 2 players that you brought in the last couple of seasons, Beñat last season and this season, and Mikel Rico. I think Beñat doesn't. There's been a falling out with Valverde. I think there's been a problem. But I watched Mikel Rico this season. He's fantastic, and he looks like Toquero.
Yeah. I was getting confused when I was watching it there. I says that Toquero's get better.
Yeah, and Mikel Rico paid a part of the money to Granada to come back to Bilbao also. He asked to the president of Granada to come back to Bilbao also. And the problem to Beñat is not playing because I think that is the same in all the teams in the world. When you are winning, why you are going to change? We know that Beñat is very good, but we are playing good, we are winning, so you don't need any change.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you change players when you are playing bad. So that's not our question nowadays. So we are playing good. So it's quite difficult to the players who are not playing. It's quite difficult to get a place in the team.
Okay. So you say about slightly off topic now from the football. You met the last time you and the boys were over in Glasgow last year. You, Juan, Gorka, and the Oak we're over. We met an old Glasgow legend, and he was over in Bilbao a few weeks ago. A good friend of mine, Rab.
Yeah. We went to the Choco also.
You took him to the Choco, so
yes. Rab come with Amon.
Yeah, his grandson. So John, one of my friends in Glasgow. Rab McAllister. He's an artist, and he's basically, his mum was a refugee from Guernica, and she arrived in Glasgow as an infant, and I think she got put in an orphanage in Glasgow, and she grew up in Glasgow and ended up meeting her husband, and obviously Rab was her son. So he's kept on the Basque traditions, and he goes back to Bilbao frequently. And his grandson was 18. And Eamon's been to both La Copa finals. Rab's took him to Valencia and Madrid. And I've met Rab both times. I met them in Manchester when Athletic beat Man United. I met them down there. So Joseph, we went and met Rab when we were over. We went and got a few drinks with him, and then Rab was taking Eamon over. I think there was there 13 or 16 of them or something. Eusebio came to Bilbao.
Yeah.
A lot
16.
16 Celtic supporters.
Yeah. And as I told you, there are no tickets on sale this season. But when I explain this history to athletic supporter, they give me all the members' tickets for all the season to give them, because they say, oh, come on, they are coming for Celtic supporter with the grandfather, with Eamon. Here my card, my ticket to go there, to go to the stadium. So we get ticket to get together, and Eamon was really happy in the athletic supporters area.
Yeah, and Gorka took him to the Harry Norte Taldea section.
Yeah.
He was with the ultras.
Yeah. With the best supporters.
Yeah. So that was great that you had the chance to meet Rab when he came over to Bilbao, because he really is he's a great guy, and he keeps the Basque flame flying high. And John, I want to share another funny story with you. When Eusebio and his brother and Gorka and Juan were over, we done the tour of Celtic Park, and the week before the game, Celtic moved 2 weeks before it. Celtic moved the fixture, so Eusebio and that couldn't get to the game. So what actually happened was to take them the tour of Celtic Park. Then we just went out for a drink and stuff like that. So what happened was we took them to a bar in Glasgow in the Gallagate, big Celtic supporter area, and we sat down. And Eusebio, there was a girl sitting across from us, wasn't there?
Yeah.
And she was from the same village as Eusebio.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. She heard them speaking Euskara, and she came over and she started speaking in Basque. You tell John the story, Eusebio.
Yeah, and because he was from Getxo also, like me. We were nearly neighbors.
And I used to live in Getxo.
And because of that, I told you, and we were drinking a couple of beers also, and speaking, it was very funny to meet them.
You're in a pub in Glasgow and someone's speaking Euskara next to you. It doesn't happen every day of the week.
Yes, of course. As you know, we're speaking Basque usually, so...
Yep. So tell me, Eusebio, so this is a big year for Scotland just now. So me and John, we share the same passport just now. But after September, I might be getting a new passport. It might be a Scottish passport. So what about the Basque country? I know yourself, you would prefer to have a free Basque country. So I've seen on the TV like 100,000 people.
Sorry, Jason. The most important thing is not that what I want. The most important thing is that I want to ask to people what they want to be.
Yeah. So you want a referendum?
Yes. We always, when we speak with the Spanish government, we always say, why can we not ask to the people, like in Scotland? It's only to ask. Why?
Yep.
Because they might say yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly why.
Jason, can I just jump in quickly?
Go for it.
I'd like to make an impassioned plea to the people of Scotland to vote no in the referendum. And the reason I'm saying this is, if you leave the United Kingdom, it just leaves us scum from Liverpool on our own. The only people who actually we get on with in this country of ours are the Scots, and in particular the Glaswegians. If you vote no, or if you vote yes for independence, then I'm afraid we're just stuffed, and we'll just get carried on being treated as the scum we are. To paraphrase the great Rab Nesbitt.
You can join us. We can build an annex. We can start invading once we get our freedom.
Yeah, well, I'll just have my Irish passport. So the passport's not an
issue, but your wife can get you an Irish one.
Stay with us, eh?
Well, I don't know what will happen. You know, it's gathering momentum now, and I don't know. I still think most people would vote no for, I don't know, the fear factor and things like that. But it's definitely gathering momentum, and it's giving people a lot of things to think about. So it's going to be interesting times. But Eusebio, so let's hope the people of the Basque country get their wish and get a vote. so the people in the Basque Country can then determine whether they want to stay part of Spain or create your own Basque Country.
Yes, but as I told you, they don't want it to us because they know that most of people here want to be independent. That's the question.
Yeah, so they.
And if you ask to the Spanish people, they don't want to be independent from Basque Country, but we want it. And of course, for example, for Joseba, is a dream to watch Euskadi from Basque Country football selection, playing with another countries in the world.
Yeah.
Or the world. That's our dream and my dream also.
Yeah, because at the moment,
Basque Country team.
Yeah, at the moment you only play friendlies, don't you? At the start
of
the football
we play friendly,
season.
But of course I want to play
at Christmas.
Yeah, what's that, John? At Christmas?
Yeah, they play at Christmas, don't they, Joseba?
Yeah. We usually play on 20 of December with Paraguay, with Bolivia, but we want
Venezuela.
Yeah, Venezuela. We played Wales before as well.
Can you imagine Basque Country selection in the World Cup?
You would have a good side. Just play the athletic team.
Yeah, that's right, the athletic team.
So Joseba, sorry, when was the last time the Spanish national team played in Bilbao?
Wow, I don't know. With Franco.
Would have been in 60s, 70s, yeah?
Yeah, or 14 or 15 or something like that. Yes. I don't know really. Sorry about that. But
that's okay. When was the last time the Spanish national team played in Catalonia?
I don't know also.
Same. So the two, I think that says everything, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If you can't be bothered to bring your national side to play in a region, you're not really part of that country, are you?
Yeah. One of my friends, Peter, that was down to Goodison with us on Sunday, John. They've got a house in Vinaròs. It's the Valencia region, and he was travelling over, and he got the boat from Portsmouth to Bilbao with his family. So they spent a couple of days in Bilbao, and they done the tour of San Mamés. And they were in Bilbao when the World Cup final was on, when Spain won the World Cup. And he says they were in the old town in Bilbao, and he says you wouldn't even have known there was a football game on.
Nah.
He says nobody was watching it, and he says if anything, they were wanting Spain to get beat, if it was on. And he says they were making a point of not watching it. And he says after the game he found it incredible that no one even acknowledged the game was on. So there you go. So Joseba, let's hope for a Champions League appearance. And what's your vision for next season? Do you hope for La Copa, or do you think Athletic could actually put an assault on winning La Liga in the next few years?
I think that yes, that the next few years we have good teams, so I think that we will be playing Champions League for the next 4 or 5 seasons. And of course, is our dream is to play Champions League and with in the same group with Celtic de Glasgow, of course.
No, absolutely, mate, absolutely.
We cannot imagine the ambience in Bilbao and in Glasgow. So with thousands and thousands people from Glasgow and from Bilbao getting a big day, and it's our dream.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I will arrange some big parties if you come here. It's an absolute certainty, and I'm sure you will do likewise. And the only problem is, how can we fit 500 people in your Choco?
Yeah, quite difficult, but we can think about that.
Can see well before we go, Joseba, can you explain to the listeners what a Choco is?
A Choco is a place where we go. Is quite difficult with my English. It's a place where we go to get dinner or with friends. We are supporters also from Athletic, all of them, and you cook everything there, and you cook, you drink, you invite your friends. You cannot get in if you are not the owner of the Choco, and we are 50 owners in the Choco. So when you invite the people who come from outside to see there, because it's very popular here in Basque Country to cook and to drink, and that's what we do there. And it's forbidden for women and for kids. That's quite difficult to explain sometimes.
That's fantastic, mate. Thank you very much.
Yes, and the ambience there is fantastic. It's great. We always watch the football there, and we speak about the political things, and we speak about the football things also there, and we put really good meals. As you know, Jason.
Absolutely. It was a fantastic day. The food is phenomenal. Yourself and Juan and Gorka are just fantastic cooks, and we just had the most amazing day. And it was amazing. Really, really excellent. Very, very special place. And you have a Celtic flag up on the wall as well?
Yeah. We have a Celtic flag and a pint from Rap.
There you go. Perfect. Perfect. So, is there anything else, John? Is there anything you want to ask before we wrap up for tonight?
Just one thing, Joseba. I'll be in Bilbao from the 18th of August till the 3rd of September, which is my birthday. So, hopefully, we'll be able to meet up at some time in that period. And hopefully, I'll get into the new summer mess.
Of course.
And a second thing, sorry.
And the Choco. To the Choco.
Yeah.
Choco, both as a street and the stadium.
Vale. But
the plan is already done.
The second thing I wanted to say, okay, you were supposed to come and see me this year at Goodison and you didn't. So hopefully next season, yourself, Gorka and the boys, if you need to get over, you've always got a welcome and the tickets.
Okay, thank you so much.
There you go. Maybe a Champions League game.
Stop it.
So, Joseba, is there anything you'd want to finish off with?
No, I only want to say that for me it's a pleasure to speak to all the Celtic supporters, and also Gorka, Juan, Íñigo, Deu, all the friends that you know are also listening to the radio, and they wanted to tell you also welcome here and thank you so much.
Esquerra Casco.
Okay, Esquerra Casco.
And Joseba, I will try my best to get over to the Basque Derby, the final home game of the season. So I will let you know if I can make it, and I will try my best to make it over there. Okay? Okay. So everybody, thanks very much for listening. As I say, I've really, really enjoyed having Joseba back on again. And hopefully maybe towards the end, even at the end of the season, if Athletic, fingers crossed, they make the Champions League, myself and John will pull together again and get Joseba on, and we can maybe even get his brother, the Oak, on, or Juan, or get someone else on to come along and sit with you, Joseba. And it's a pleasure to listen to you, and thank you so much for sharing the stories about your great, fantastic football club that to me is a modern day miracle. And I echo what John says, your supporters are the best, So I want to thank John as well for coming on, because John's always good because he can speak a bit of the lingo a bit more than myself, although I'm trying to learn. And John, let you into a secret. I said to Joseba a few weeks ago I was learning Spanish, and he hit the roof. He says the Spanish thieves do not speak their language. I says, but it's easier for me to learn than it is Euskara.
Don't worry about that. I will learn you Basque.
So just thanks again, John. So we opened the show up with the famous anthem from Bilbao, Hymno Athletic. So I think it's only fair that we finish the show off with a tune that's very close to Mr. Sheeran's heart. So thanks again for listening in, everybody, and thank you so much, Joseba, and thank you so much, John. Hail, guys.
All right. Esquerra Casco.
Esquerra Casco.
Agur.
Agur.